Hello, and welcome to this TechnoCamps activity pack. My name is Dan, and today we'll be looking at a little experiment about sounds and soundproofing created by Science Buddies. Science Buddies are an incredible group of individuals who produce all kinds of STEM-based resources and activities. You can find a link to their website, as well as a link to today's activity, on your screen now. To help us learn all about sounds, we will have the assistance of the Science Journal by Google app. Before starting this activity pack, please watch the short YouTube video about sounds. If the video does not display correctly on the TechnoCamps website, the link to the video can also be found on your screens now. This video will help you answer the quiz which comes at the end of this activity pack. Make sure you navigate back to the TechnoCamps website in order to complete the quiz by clicking on the button located next to this video. The Science Journal by Google app is a really useful tool as it gives us the ability to measure all kinds of parameters in real time. These parameters include things like brightness, pitch, sound intensity, and so much more. For this experiment, we'll be focusing on measuring how loud a sound is using a unit known as the decibel. The decibel unit is used to measure the volume of a sound. So for example, complete silence would have a value of around 0 decibels, while something like a car horn has a value of around 110 decibels. The louder the sound, the higher the value of the decibel. We will be using the decibel unit today in order to determine which household object that you own has the best soundproofing properties. As we will be using an app today to complete our experiment, I will now give a quick demonstration on how we can use the Science Journal by Google app to aid in our experimentation. Once you have downloaded and first opened the app, select Get Started. At this stage, if you have a Google account and a Google Drive, you're welcome to sign in so that you can save your experiments to your account. Alternatively, you can select the Continue without signing in option. It is here that you will then be presented with your dashboard or your journal, which is where all of your different experiments will be saved. From here, select the plus symbol so that you can start a new experiment. The pencil symbol, located at the top of the screen, will allow you to rename your experiment so that you can remember which experiment is which. Below this, we have a series of tabs. The first tab will allow you to make observations on your experiments. This might be a good place to log how each individual object performs as a soundproofer. Simply click on the Add an Observation section and begin typing. The second tab allows you to choose what parameter you'd like to measure. As mentioned previously, we'll be measuring the volume of our sound through our soundproof box. Therefore, we need to scroll through the list of measurable parameters until we find the speaker icon. Hitting the record button will then allow us to measure what the maximum, minimum, and average number of decibels recorded was during the experiment. As you can see, when I am talking, the number of decibels recorded goes up, whereas when I pause, the number of decibels recorded goes down. Once we have hit the stop button, we can see that the device has recorded what the minimum, average, and maximum number of decibels recorded during the experiment was. Remember to log what the maximum decibel reading recorded was after each item is tested in your Observations tab. As a side note, please bear in mind that you will need to allow the Science Journal by Google app access to your microphone in order to complete this experiment. So as previously mentioned, the purpose of this experiment is to determine which common household product that you own provides the best soundproofing qualities. The diagram shown on the screen now gives a rough idea of the layout of your experiment. To begin with, you'll need to take an ordinary cardboard or Tupperware box, preferably one which has a lid of some kind. You will then need to place the device that's running the Science Journal by Google app inside of the box. Hit the record button and shut the lid on the box. You will need to place the device a set distance away from the device that's going to be playing the sound, making sure that this is consistent with each experiment. After playing the sound for a few seconds without any insulation in the box, review what the peak decibel value recording was on the Science Journal app and log this in the Observations tab. This will then be your control. Next, you need to choose around 4 to 5 household items to insulate your box with. The items that you choose are up to you, however I would recommend that you choose at least one well-padded item such as cotton wool and one relatively thin item such as paper. Insulate your box with each one of the items in turn and see which one provides the best insulation to block out the sounds from reaching your device, making sure to record the maximum decibel reading recorded for each item in the Observations tab. The winner will be the item which leads to the smallest peak in the decibels reading. Shown on your screen now is an example of the way that you could record the maximum decibel value recorded with each insulating object within the Observations tab. Make sure you always start with no insulation in the box so that you have a good control value. Can you think of any ways in which you could improve this experiment? Perhaps you could combine the two worst insulating objects to produce one highly insulating object. Have a go at experimenting with different combinations of objects, making sure to log the outcome of each experiment in the table that you produce. Thank you for participating in this TechnoCamps activity pack, and good luck with the quiz and your experiments.